Yeah. Should we just go for it and just see what happens? I think that's probably the best, isn't it? We'll just pass it between you two and then is that all right?
Yeah.
Oh, well, welcome back to the Aggborough Unfiltered. It has been a few weeks since we last gathered together. We have attempted a couple of times to record some stuff. We have got a mental health video that we will put out eventually, but it's just some idiot in black decided to film it in ultra high 4K definition. That's just a ridiculous amount of file to edit. So that is still being edited as we speak. But yeah, we've just been busy, I guess, and we've had Christmas, New Year, and we've been on a mad unbeaten run, haven't we? Things have changed for the Harriers since the last time we were together on camera.
I think, way back when we were saying it's going to take time, and I think it's taken this far into the season. It was 7 games unbeaten now, won the last 5, and it's taken time, but I think the team's gone. And yesterday we looked good.
Yeah,
I thought they like Curzon came with a game plan to go over the top of us and run through, but we dealt with it just about at times. But we dealt with it where I think we would have capitulated before.
Yeah.
So,
Liam, what about you? Since we've last had conversation, I mean, you haven't been on for so long because me and Stuart were flying solo. We're doing a duo for a little bit in the changing room and stuff, and then we're. Now we're in another pub. We're somewhere else in the Wire Forest, which is great. But tell us, what's been your highlight of these, like this gap period? What's been the standout performances for you?
I think finding form really. As Stuart said, we've won a great run of form. It's not always been easy wins, but Adam's clearly found a way to turn out results. At the end of the day, that's all that matters. So I'm quite happy. He's brought in some players that made a big difference. Players come back from injury like David Davies. He's made a massive impact. Scored the winner yesterday, obviously. But yeah.
And then let's touch on that. Some of the players, like, it's been such a plethora of change, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And we knew there was going to be change anyway, and there'd been change at the start of the season. We knew it was going to take time, like you said, Stuart. And we've been saying and calling for patience. We've been accused of being too positive, maybe at times a little bit too much Adam Murray's fan club, but that will never stop for me. I love the man. I think he's phenomenal. I think what he's doing is excellent, and how he's ridden out the storm has been excellent. And yesterday, hearing the North sing Adam Murray's Red and White Army,
absolutely brilliant.
I feel it was a real vindication for that man and for our gaffer, and he deserved that because he didn't deserve the abuse he got at the start of the season. I understand. Listen, we were all a bit frustrated, and
I was frustrated.
Yeah, we all were, and he was, and the players were. But you
have to take that. I'll better take that off you. But you have to take that in your stride. You have to look and say. I've just been listening to Liverpool fans complaining about Arne Slot. And I think, they won the league last year. I understand they're not doing as well this year, and it's, they're for whatever reason. But you've got to give him a chance to make his own team. He inherited Klopp's team, et cetera, and you've got to do that. Now, Adam Murray came in at a time when we'd had almost success last year, but that team disbanded, and we started again. Bought in players that not all of them worked. Not all of the acquisitions were up to what we would have hoped. And I think they've realised that, and they've brought in some good quality. I think players like Cooper and
Evans.
Owen Evans, absolutely.
KP, Paul PK, Paul Kalambaye.
That's it. Yeah.
Absolutely amazing player, leader, warrior.
Yeah. And I think, I think you just said about David Davies yesterday, he would have been my man of the match. Because that guy, at the end of the game, when we needed it, and they were attacking us, we were under the cosh at the back a bit. You just can't remember seeing him catch the ball on his thigh and just run. The guy's like, a legend.
Yeah, Liam, what do you think? Do you think it's good to see? I don't think this is maybe the right term, so I'm going to say it anyway, but it's probably not the right terminology that Adams had. Well, no, he's had the humility to say, actually, I made some mistakes in the transfer window, basically. Brought in a lot of players that he knew from the South and previously. And let's be honest with you, a lot of them have not worked out.
Absolutely. He's brought in players that obviously have done stuff for him before, but it's also worth pointing out players like Obi who come in and do a good job. So,
Oh yeah,
it's not all, it wasn't all bad signings in the summer, but yeah, I think he's clearly more of a budget than he's ever had before. So he's clearly been given the money to experiment, and it's coming to fruition that maybe not all the players he brought in was right, but equally he's learning and taking things on board. Like, start of the season, Riley Reynolds was on the bench a bit. Now he's starting most games, and I think that's been a season changer, really.
yeah. I think you're right. So we got Riley, Digger's obviously come back into the frame. And Mika Obi, like you said, I think he's been like one of the best signs we've had in a number of years. Actually, he's grown into the team, I think, and I mean the fact that he's scoring goals and he's defending well.
When he scored yesterday and it was offside, I was so disappointed.
Yeah, he loved it as well.
Oh
didn't he?
yeah. But, I think he's been one though from the beginning. I like the look of him, and he's so tall. He gets his head on the ball, you know. But there have been times where he's been caught out. But I think we're beyond that now, and I think he has proved that he's moved on, and I think he looks more comfortable, I should say. He did something amazing yesterday. His legs are so long. He seems to be able to catch the ball behind him.
Yeah.
He puts his leg almost back into the... But no, he's looking good, you know, and he's had man of the match a few times. He's scored goals. But these are, you know...
He's a young lad as well.
Yeah.
And people forget that. He is only in his early 20s.
Yeah.
But he looks like a seasoned pro at the moment, which is looking good. And we need men. We need bodies that are strong and are willing to be punished a little bit, because I think some of those players that maybe have come from the south who have never played north before, it was a shock to their system of going, what on earth is this? And some of them who maybe have played before in the north but haven't played for a long time have gone, oh my gosh, I forgot how rough and ready this is. And I probably would argue that Ad forgot how heavy the league was and hardcore in many. Do you know what I mean? Like that. That the hardcore's not the word I'm trying to think of, but you know, that heavy metal sort of like smash and grab sort of football. You know, I was speaking to Stuart Watkiss yesterday, and Stuart was sort of saying, you know, the south, the biggest difference is it's the time you get on the ball. It is just completely different.
And there's another signing, Stuart Watkiss.
Yeah.
I think bringing in an assistant manager has helped. I don't know how that helps. I don't know what it does for Adam, you know, etc. But he's definitely, when he came in, since that point, we've made strides. Yeah. And I think, I'm not saying that's not because of Adam. I think Adam Murray is the manager, and I think he's in charge. But having that assistant has made a difference. Yeah. And someone who knows the club as well. So. Yeah,
definitely. And I think, look, we talked about the Luca thing earlier in the year when that all happened. And again, Adam handled that very well. Yeah. Those challenging moments that so far in this first half of the season, I feel like he's handled them really, really well. What's ironic is that at one point when the fans were struggling with Adam and calling for Phil Brown back, and Phil wouldn't do this, Phil was the best, this, that. Listen, Phil Brown is not pulling up trees at Peterborough. They're doing all right. They're out of relegation. But, you know, he called the players out the other week. I don't know if you saw this. Similar to what he did to our team last year, saying that effectively the players are playing to get him sacked. If they play like that, it's because they don't want to play for the manager and all this other stuff. You know, you can paint a leopard pink, but it don't change its spots. You know, he is who he is, and that's who he's always been. And if you look at a lot of the Peterborough fans now commenting on stuff, they'll say he's out of his depth. He doesn't understand the league, and he doesn't understand clubs like that. It's just not far from where fans were saying about him at some points last year with us. The great thing is the noise has changed from like F off Adam Murray, Adam Murray's this, that, and the other to Adam Murray's Red and White Army, and it should be.
Absolutely right.
And it has always been his army, and it's always been his boys.
We were chatting on the way here about Ricardo Reis, because he's gone to Forest Green, scored 2 goals on his debut, hit the post before the other team scored. I can't remember who they were playing. And you think when we went to Merthyr,
we shut him out, didn't we?
We shut him out. He didn't get a sniff. And actually, we won that game. And that's kind of where we started on our run, I think, from that sort of point onwards. Yeah. Maybe a little bit before, but that's the point for me, where we went to Merthyr and we were there on that night
That was a great night, wasn't it?
A great night, great result. And from there, we've pushed forward.
I've loved doing the away days this year more than any other season. I've just and I've gone in with hope, but not just false hope. It's like real hope. The biggest Marine.
Oh, that was a bit.
That was the biggest disappointment of the season so far. Has been Marine.
We came back after that, and we've gone forward again.
Tell you what, the highlight of that night was though, was the pies. Liam, let's talk about those pies for a moment because we are doing like a half-season review, I guess. What did you have? Do you remember?
I think.
Did you have the chicken tikka thing?
Had the tikka one. We had the Christmas. Was it the Christmas one?
That was good as well. Yeah,
it was very nice, and sausage roll was nice as well.
Yeah, I had one of those as well.
I think I had half of them by the end of the game.
Yeah, me too. It was stressful, wasn't it? So it was stress eating. But again, the people of Marine were so lovely, chatting away with the stewards. They were really good. And I know I've heard John sort of say at the end of the game, he was sort of shouting, "Keep your heads up." I was shouting that. Yeah. And I think at that point, the fans weren't, there was a handful of fans that maybe were screaming, "Oh, F off," or "do this," or whatever. Yeah. But the majority of us were stood there going, "Keep your heads up, keep focused, keep going." Yeah. And I think like there's been some hard decisions that the team have had to make, the management team have had to make in these last few weeks. But actually, it's working out positively for us. Yeah. Other than David Davis and Amika Roby, you've talked about, anybody else's standout shining star for you at this moment in time?
I don't think it'd be my star performer. I think the last few games, Hemmings has provided a massive lift around the club. I know he's not scored yet, but I think while he's been playing, it's clear that the players who have been at the club for a few seasons, who have played with Hemmings before, it's clear that bond's still there. And it seems to be a bit more togetherness after the games as well. Like I know yesterday he was going around hugging players, so that's really good to see. It's done a massive lift. So
because sometimes it's not just what they do on the pitch, but what happens off the pitch that makes them a big lift. And ultimately, Hemo is a leader, and I think he would probably agree. He's not at his best right now, but the problem for Hemo, I think he's got. I see him often, but I've not actually said this to him. But someone said this to me yesterday. He will forever be the Hemo of last season for too many people. Yeah. And last season he was unstoppable, and he had this unbelievable season with 38 goals or whatever it was.
It was an amazing tally, but he wasn't. There were games where he didn't score and he went missing because that's how it goes. He had an amazing, exactly. And I think what's been good for me, it's that as you just said, it's the lift it gave. Yeah. So. Just shouting Hemo, like the fans are behind it. That's what happens, and he's got a smile.
He loves this club.
You know what I mean?
And the fans love him. It's a match made in heaven. And then you throw Amari in there, and it's lifted Amari. He's got a smile back in his face. Yes. Can I just say one thing about one of my star performers this year? He's not scored hardly anything this year. He's Amari Morgan-Smith.
100%.
He started the year frustrated. Because he wasn't the number one pick for striker. Yeah. He wasn't the number one pick for captain. Yeah. Do you know what? That boy works harder than anybody else. Yeah. He's fitter than most people. Yeah. And he has grafted and proved Adam to say, actually, you're my captain every week. Yeah. He, and those people who were in that leadership group are not actually starting. So if you think about it, we had Spokes. Spokes has just gone on loan. Now, Spokes is not a bad player. We'll talk about him in a minute. I was actually a little bit like, whoa, when I heard he was going, get it. I think he's been a phenomenal super sub. I was excited about Toby to a degree when he came, Toby Show Silver, but
I made a comment around us when he came on. I made a comment suggesting I would run on the pitch with not much clothing on if he scored. I regretted it when he nearly scored, but I don't think he'll score. I don't think he's all that.
But Toby was being captain for a long period of time. I can't think. Tunnicliffe was also captain for a period of time. You see, all of these lads that were brought in, and he was like, there was going to be a leadership group, and Amari, you're going to be part of it. What he's done is he's grafted. And I had a conversation with him at one point, and I remember saying to him, you need to prove yourself. It's not about proving yourself on the pitch because everybody knows your heart. Yeah. But just lead off the pitch, and I bet it will come. And that guy, I'm not saying that I did everything there, but I just remember that conversation with him, and he was like, "You're right, I know it." And I am really proud of him because I just think, yes, he doesn't get the 20 goals a season that we all want him to get, or the 50 goals a season, whatever it is. But he does so much more for this club 100%. Than we realise. And he holds that ball up, he holds the play up, and he.
And then, like I said, there's two guys that sit behind me, two older guys, who they're still at it. Like if he makes one error, they're on him. Like he's got to go. He's at it. He's whatever. It's just like it frustrates me because, as you say, it's not the goals necessarily. It's what he gives to the team. And the same with Hemmings. He's come back in, and there's a lift there, and there's something on the pitch that galvanises the rest of the team.
Yeah, I would say
I'm happy
Reece
with that.
has started playing better, hasn't he? Reece
Yeah.
Devine.
Totally.
The last few games, Reece has started. In fact, they've all just sort of. There's been more synergy about
Yeah.
the team, which has been great to see.
There are.
And I think there's
They're playing up. There's a
arrogance about them,
Yeah,
again,
that's
which is
right,
good.
yeah.
Do you know what's
Swagger.
funny actually? Because obviously I get a real privilege of where I sit. I sit right where the directors are. Like, the Chorley directors yesterday were like screaming, like, "You big time effing Charlies, this, that, and the other." They really couldn't cope with what was going
Brilliant.
on.
Great.
But I loved it that our team just stuck it to them,
Yeah.
and then absolutely just took them to the cleaners. Really, even Adam was getting so passionate yesterday on the sidelines.
Well,
At
I
one
was
point,
watching
Stuart and Kev Bunn had to hold him back and say,
Yeah,
"No, calm yourself down,
Yeah.
like simmer down." But
Towards the end of the game, there was that period of time where the ref just seemed to give everything to them, and we were getting taken out, and nothing was happening, or it was going against us, and it was like what? And then I watched Adam run, and he was almost in their technical area and stuff, and I thought, oh gosh, it's going to go off. But you get it because it's passion. I want to see that. I want to feel that, and I feel it now. I feel that on Tuesday night, the Telford game, I was with you guys over the other side. I've never watched a game from behind the dugout, and it was great to see. And I loved watching it from there. And it does feel like there's almost a buoyancy. It's like we're up.
Yeah.
And I think you've got to have that. We'll lose games. We're not going to win every game between now and the end of the season, but it's how you bounce back. We went to Merthyr. We were terrible, but we came back.
No, Merthyr were all right. Marine, you mean?
Sorry,
Marine.
Merthyr, we were great.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
Mari's penalty as well. Let's just talk about that for a second. That was
spot on.
Yeah, it was good.
But Marine, we were terrible. And we came back the next game, Yeah.
Who are you looking forward to, Liam, coming back into the squad? Obviously, we've got Jack Clark he was sat on the bench yesterday. Reece Hall is another one potentially coming back into the squad.
I think I'm more looking forward to Clark, because I think what we've seen from him at the start of the season was quite impressive. So he might have to fight for a spot this time, though, because he's obviously been out, and obviously the whole team's doing very well at the moment. So it's sort of the team's picking itself at the moment. So it must be quite difficult for someone coming back from injury to fit back in. But I'm sure he'll work hard. And
what's interesting is Adam said, didn't he? Those players that are playing now are keeping people like Cam Candola out.
Yeah,
Cam's a phenomenal player. He's
Kurt
William.
Yeah.
How is Kurt not? I said this the other day. I'm surprised Kurt hasn't played more, but it's interesting, isn't it? That team is solid now.
Yeah,
absolutely solid.
Remember at the beginning of the season when there was the whole thing, and I think we shared the view in a way. We remember that Curry with Murray event at the beginning of the season, and he was talking about how the team would change based on XG and all that sort of thing, and it did. But now, you know what the starting 11 is.
Yeah.
Basically, we're at a point where we have a starting 11. I think that is a massive positive.
Yeah, and I think he's had to work that out a little bit, hasn't he, in this
totally.
season, to kind of go, okay, who's my general?
Yeah,
that's Amari.
Yeah,
who's the other lads who are going to go into battle and put the bodies on the line for me and keep going? And when they get injured or they get knocked off, because you see, Hemo. This is the other thing about Hemo, which let's just compliment on this. He went off at Hereford with a bandaged knee.
Yeah.
He got a bit of a clatter. I mean, that Hereford game was an absolute joke, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But he got clattered there, and then he was back on the pitch for the Telford game. And I thought, that's what he wants. Yeah. He doesn't want someone to go, oh, well, right, when he's hurting, he's like, get back on the training ground, start running it off, and start, he's working them hard, and they're grafting. Totally, you can see that. Yeah. Liam, should we talk about Hereford then? Boxing Day. Is it? How do you feel about it? Do you even look forward to it nowadays or not at all?
Well, I think it's part of Christmas tradition, so I look forward to it in that regard.
Yeah.
But we do tend to go there most Boxing Days and stuff the other way around. Whereas it was nothing in comparison to last season. That was a great game last season, but a win's a win, especially at Hereford. It's quite nerve-wracking at times after they've got that goal, but and their referees again.
Do you think the pitch had a real problem? Like, it gave us problems. Like, for me, that pitch. I don't understand how they passed it for inspection. The four corners literally look like sandpits. They were dreadful.
Well, I think it's clearly a club that's got some issues at the moment, so I'm hoping to survive. So obviously they've come back once, but yeah, I think the pitch definitely didn't help, and yeah, hopefully it gets better. Really.
Yeah, I mean, you don't sell your top player in Sterling James to a team below unless you're really struggling. And
I think that what I find about Hereford, so I'm quite new to it, like in terms of travelling away and going to Hereford. We've been the last few times, like this. I think that was my third trip there, maybe my fourth. But it's for a club that's in trouble. They need. In fact, I said to somebody, I was chatting to somebody at the game, a kiddie fan in the queue for the toilets. They were waiting for about an hour to get to, like the 4 toilets that there were. We were saying that, like, for us, we've got good owners who are investing not just in the team but in everything else, in
so basically with Richard, Richard's whole thing is, and I had a chat with Richard the other day. He sort of said, you don't hear me spouting off when we're doing badly. And you don't hear me spouting off when we're doing really well, because I want to stay a level head. My role is to keep calm throughout it all. That's and lead calmly. Yeah. And I was just like, yeah, it's so true. Yeah. Like, you're not the swashbuckling, like, look at me, flamboyant owner. Yeah. You are the humble leader who is effectively just funding the club because he knows that the community need it and love it. And actually, who else would do it?
But it's thought out, isn't it?
Of course it is.
We've got the right people in. So we was chatting to this guy in the queue at Hereford saying the toilets. We were saying it was for the food, actually, not for the toilets at that time. But that was as dire. That, for a club that's seemingly struggling, they had the opportunity to make money on the food. Yeah. And they had one van with one lady running it at one point.
They ran out of food by half time.
You think, how can that be? Is that on purpose to, like, upset the kiddie fans, the away fans? There were 2 entrances, 2 turnstiles, and it took ages to get everyone. There were queues before even the game had started. There was still queues.
It was crazy.
And, like, you think, surely sort yourselves out.
I mean, the fact that they ran out
to survive.
Yeah,
fans, Hereford fans, I want them to survive. I want them to be a club, but they need to be looking at how they run the place
operationally wise.
Yeah.
Again, having into a number of away games this year, I feel like we are one of the best run clubs. Absolutely. I had a guy on my table yesterday upstairs in the Aggborough suite, and he used to be one of the coaches at Brackley. And he was just like, I am so blown away by the quality of what this club offers. He's like, when we were upstairs in the lounge, he said there used to be like 60 people in there on a very, very good day. He was like, and the ground may have 500, 600 people. Yeah. He said, on a really good game, it would be 2,500. That's an FA Cup game. Yeah. He was like, what will you have everywhere is quality. Yeah. And again, I know I work for Harriers and Harriers Foundation, but I go into work with a smile on my face every day, and I leave with a smile on my face. I'm proud of the club that I work for, and I'm proud of the club I support, and I love it. That's awesome. And it is a great place to be, and it's a club that cares. They haven't just brought me in to fluff and talk about stuff. They brought me in to help expand the community work that we're already doing, and that's going really well. But that Hereford game, let's go back to that before I get on to other things. Those 4 toilets you talked about, I reckon only 2 of them were working, Because at one point there was only 2 people coming in and out of the 2 outside ones. They ran out of hot water just after half time. I don't know how they did that. And 700 fans, and they got all the tickets mixed up, didn't they?
Again? Well, we had a situation with that, like where their system scanned. If someone had, I had a ticket for somebody that I was going to give to them, so I'd sent them the QR code. The problem was that the other one was with a friend of mine. He'd gone in and they'd scanned the letter, the front page of the ticket that had printed off, which meant it had scanned in 2 people, but there was only 1 person. And so they were saying that there were 2 people in. I had this whole argument. 20 minutes, I reckon, we were outside. I had to go outside to get my friend in because they'd made an error. It was going badly because the people on the gate were just being sarcastic and everything else. But it was when the lady from their customer services came, who was amazing, I have to say. She sorted it out because she realised we were telling the truth, and their system was rubbish.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm glad they got that sorted.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
good
yeah.
that they got sorted.
But like, they need to sort themselves out.
Yeah, it's
to
a shame,
survive.
really, isn't it? But the thing is, that's the difference. You see, that's a fan-owned club
Yeah, yeah.
because they were poorly run, and so ultimately, I want us to be aware. We need to be careful what we wish for here. Sometimes when we're frustrated or whatever, and
Absolutely.
think listen. I don't think any of us could do a better job than what's going on right now
I
with
agree.
the resources we've got. We know that the club's trying to buy the stadium, do all sorts of other stuff. There's development going down at Cozy. The foundation's growing, and we're going to talk a couple about some things that are going on there that I'd love you guys to be involved in. Media, all that sort of stuff we're aware of. We're trying to grow it and increase it. I think that we are, and we know we're bigger than National League North.
Yeah, yeah. I
You know,
agree. Yeah.
We're bigger than National League in my opinion, but we'll get there at
Get
some
there
point.
first, and then that's right.
Right, halfway through the season, then Liam, what is success this season for you? At the start of the season, I said we would win the league. I still believe we're going to win the league, and I know you guys are a little bit like not sure about that. I still think we could win the league, and I think that we'll get to Wembley as well. I'm just going to say that. So for me, I would be happy with this: Wembley, win the trophy and a playoff, or win the league and just miss out on Wembley.
I think either of those I'd be very happy with, but I think.
Am I dreaming, or is that realistic?
Well, I think we'll see how Saturday goes. But yeah, I think what success would look like for me. I think for the start of the season, it felt really good, especially pre-season. So I think we all said on here we'd want to win the league. I think it's still not impossible, but I think Richard Lane at the current move was very clear to say we've got a top 5 budget, so a top 5 would be a success. And I think that we have to go by that really. And if we are going to win the league, we want to be second or third, don't we? So we get one less round in the playoffs and hopefully get the final at home. So yeah, I'd be fairly happy at playoffs because it's quite clear it's a 2-year plan. So if we don't go up the season, I think it will definitely happen next season.
Yeah. What about you, Stuart?
Yeah, I think I believe we could win the league under current form, But what the frustration is, the other teams are winning. Filed are ahead, I think, like last season, who was it?
Scunthorpe.
They were flying, and then they started not to fly, and they came down into the playoffs, but they went up eventually, didn't they, through the playoffs? I don't see that here. I think it's a bit tougher now. I think that we've left it too late, I think, to win the league. But as Liam said, we need to be aiming for that 2 or 3.
So what do we need?
I'd love to.
Well, what do we need then? Because Adam's talked about
We need
this.
to keep winning.
Yeah, and Adam's talked about this potentially of some maybe incomings later on. We've seen some of the outgoings. Let's talk about Spokes. I was surprised at in one sense because I think he's done really well when he's come on. He's lifted the place again. Yeah. But I think
is that making way for somebody else?
Yeah, potentially. And what Adam sort of said is, at the end of the day, he wanted to play 44 games a season. He's not going to get that. He's not going to start 40 games. Yeah. So in that sense, he's sent him out on loan. And I love what he said in his interview yesterday. Look, we've got the opportunity to recall them, so we keep him fit for until that last month. And if we have to, we'll recall them.
Yeah.
It needs to be said as well. Western-super-Mare are not a bad team. They're second in the league at the moment. So that's a good place for him to go.
It's
he's
competition.
not. Seb Thompson's gone out on loan scoring. And I think...
Where's he? Leamington?
He's at Leamington, who, by the way, just for Leamington fans, you are going through an absolute ringer at the moment. Your manager, after 16 years, has just resigned. Yeah. That's massive for you. Again, just hope that you guys just figure that out and work that out as a club because I've always enjoyed playing against you guys, and I hope that you survive and stuff like that. So, it's good to see Seb scoring, but obviously he's not in our team, so that's made more weight. We've seen other players move on as well, and who he brought in. And there's potential that he's talking about some more leaving. I don't know who that is. And if I did, I wouldn't be able to tell any of his anyway, so I wouldn't do that. But the point is, I think he's saying, look, there will be some more movement, hopefully. Therefore, what is it that we need to bring in? If you had the checkbook right now, who are you signing as the manager of Kidderminster Harriers? Who do you need in your team?
One of the things that I was chatting with some of the guys around us yesterday, One of the because I think Curzon came with a game plan yesterday to go over the top and run through, because sometimes we're slow at the back, a bit too slow. I think we're tighter. I think Callum Bailly has made a massive difference there, but maybe I don't know, maybe someone with pace at the back, perhaps. But again, it comes down to we don't score enough goals.
So what are you signing then? Are you signing a defender?
Yeah. I think
Or are you putting all your eggs in one
things
basket?
as they are, we lose someone. We get rid of. We lose Toby Socho Silva and bring in a striker. You know, Ricardo Reis. What's his name?
Yeah, Ricardo Reis, yeah.
He didn't come last year when, for whatever reason. Somebody of that ilk, somebody with a proven goal scoring thing, perhaps, who can get us some goals, because we score like Telford for a while. I was thinking it was going to be 1-0 and tight, and then they capitulated because they were short of players. But then Saturday, 1-0, that's tight, isn't it? At the end, you're thinking it could easily be a draw. We need to score goals when we can.
What about you, Liam? Who are you signing? Is there anybody you got your eye on, or is it position that you would think that we would need to strengthen?
Not a particular player, but I think, as Stuart said, a goal score would go a long way at the moment. It's a hard one, because for Strong to score 20 goals a season, you go pay a fee even at this level. So it is difficult. But as Stuart said, seeing out games is quite stressful. So I think to be able to have a 2-0 lead going to 80 minutes, it would put a lot more calm on the place. But I think, like yesterday, there was some yellow cards at the back at the very end where you think if you were 2-0 up, it probably wouldn't have happened.
It was so it was really interesting. Yesterday we had Keith Lowe upstairs. Keith said the third time he came back. So when Russ was manager, he was sort of playing at a level that he thought that he basically felt he could play higher up. But he was just driving home one day from a game, and he got a phone call, and it came up. It was Russ Penn. So Russ phoned him and said, basically, would you like one last hurrah? Give it a go with us, and give it your all. I would say and argue Keith was one of our best players in those 2 years, and he left as a complete legend of the club.
Absolutely.
And he was a battler, a warrior, and a leader. Sadly, he missed out on promotion by one season. I was gutted for him for that, but he put his body in the line for us. And I wonder if it's maybe somebody like that we need just to bring in this time, just to push us over the line.
Have you got someone in mind?
No, I haven't. And I've been playing Football Manager, scrolling the free markets all the time. I tell you who I really would have liked at the start of the season, but he's kind of retired. Well, he's retired now. He's in the Ballers League. Is John Bostock. I like John Bostock. I thought he was a good player. He was at Solihull doing okay. I felt that he could have potentially given us a bit more. But, what we need is somebody who's got, to put it bluntly, a bit of bollocks about them, a little bit like David Davis, played up the leagues, and who can just dig in and just get us over the line, not bothered about their body getting hurt in this moment.
How does David Davis? How do we get David Davis? And there must be other players like that out there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he came obviously from Forest Green, didn't he?
Yeah.
So it's maybe somebody who's dropped down the league and then gone, actually, it's not working for me here, and I need an opportunity to come in. The young lad who's coming from Toby, who's coming from Leicester.
Yeah.
I actually thought he looked brilliant on the night he came on.
Yeah.
Obviously, Telford, we were sort of running amok at that point, but he looked arrogant in a good way. There was a bit of nuts about the guy. He wanted to get in there and do some stuff. So, Charlie Lutz, who came on loan a couple of seasons ago, he's a good player. I've seen him at Worcester, and I think he's doing all right at Worcester. He just didn't have the physicality, did he, at that point? And he was getting run off the...
We had a few like that, didn't we?
Yeah, we did, that Phil had brought in.
And whereas that lad the other night at Telford looked like he had a bit of presence about him.
And he's a big lad.
Yeah, that's right.
But I just wonder if there's anybody... Darwin Núñez, do you fancy coming to Liverpool? Do you fancy coming from wherever you are? Give us
like,
a go.
what's his name? what's his name? He played forever. Played for Villa and Liverpool.
Kevin Phillips.
Kevin Phillips. No,
Lambert.
no, who am I thinking? Like, he plays for Brighton now, doesn't he?
Oh, James Milner.
Someone like James Milner. Come to Kiddie.
Yeah,
You
James, come on. You can break the Premier League record, or you come to Kiddie and get
pay him.
get yourself promoted with Kiddie.
Yeah.
Come on, imagine that. James Milner in this league. No, we have to be realistic, but I just do wonder if there's a few players that are. And, Adam's confident, that I guess, because he said in a number of his interviews, by the end of January, there will be these players in the league who will be desperate for a club and need to drop down.
Yeah.
And we'll just take that potential of 3 months, maybe 6 months, and just come down and give us a go. And, it may never work, but you never know as well. Seb may continue to score, and he may be the one that we need, and we bring him back, and it may unlock. I don't know, because it hasn't really worked out for him, unfortunately, with us.
I don't think that will ever work for us. I don't. No.
But we need a clinical goal scorer, and we need someone with a golden touch just to put the ball in the back. Because I think what will happen is once the goals start coming, it'll be like a floodgate, and the pressure that's on the rest of the team to get the goals will be released.
That's right.
And I think that you'll see people like Meeks scoring a bit more. You'll see people like Reece getting back in there.
Yeah.
Joe. We haven't spoke about Joe. I mean, it's not been his most prolific season, but he's looked still good, hasn't he?
He has. The player for me the other week, when we were playing, I think we only won 1-0, believe it or not, was mine's not working tonight. Good old winger, man. Who's our winger?
What game are you talking about?
Kiddie.
Yeah, but what game? Who?
I don't know. I can't remember. It was he scored. My mind's gone blank now. I've gone blank. Who am I thinking about? Reece Devine. I was thinking Reece McNally, mate. His name's not Reece McNally.
Reece McNally's a Hartlepool, mate.
Reece Devine. When he scored the other week, and I can't remember who he scored against, but he put his foot through that ball, and there was a player coming in with a tackle, and you could see when he scored, it was a proper kind of. He did what he needed to do to get that ball into that goal, and that's what we need more of. I think we've failed at times. We've almost a bit slow to the ball. We have been
nervous. Yesterday,
Yeah.
Liam, did you think that they were? So where I was sitting at one point, I'm like, just shoot. The amount of people could hear just shoot all the time, and it was almost like they were frightened to release, so they passed it to somebody else. Like, here, no, you have a go.
Yeah, I think there were a few shots outside the box. I think you're right. There was a lot of passing around outside the box. I think Curzon, I think they did a fair job of defending. I think they had a game plan and were trying to play football, but equally they were quite stretched at the back. I think our biggest issue at nerves is going to the last 15 minutes 1-0 up. It seems
last 5 minutes and then they had 10 minutes on again.
It seems to be we could be at a very comfortable 1-0, but as soon as it hits 75 minutes, something seems to click.
Yeah.
And you're hoping players like David Davies can save us. I mean, he took a yellow card yesterday, didn't he? But a few players did to get over the line. But I think nerves is definitely an issue. I think
there was some yellow cards that were dubious.
But you have just said that there. He took a yellow card, right?
Yeah.
That's the sort of person you need, isn't it? Who's prepared to put his body in. And, his wallet ultimately, because he's going to get fined for that on the line for the team.
I think it's quite clever, because I think when the two sides came together very briefly, didn't they? From our side, I think David Davies started that and walked away. He's already on yellow at that point. I thought he's very clever like that.
He's great.
Because I think at that time, Curzon were playing well. I think
that's what we need.
That thing, I'm not going to call it a fight. That glorifies it, but that scuffle at the side of the pitch stopped the game, and I think after that we looked a lot more comfortable.
Yeah.
So he clearly knows what he's doing.
He does. Let's talk about Morecambe next week. What do we think? I think it's going to be a win. I think it won't be as. At first, I was thinking it would be like a walk in the park because they were just in disarray. One of their directors had been done for whatever it was, funding terrorism. The manager wasn't the most popular, swearing at the fans, and it just seemed like chaos at that club. But it seems to have clicking a little bit in these last few weeks, and they seem to be playing better football. But I actually think that will play into our hands because the teams we play when they want to play, we're better than them.
Yeah, obviously we're at home as well, so we'll have the upper hand in terms of the fans as well. So I'm fairly confident our form as well. I think we'll do them.
I don't know how much it is for a cup game. Is it cheaper? It's cheaper upstairs. I know that.
I'm not quite sure.
So if you haven't booked upstairs and you want to go upstairs and you get a meal and it's good, it's 35 quid I think this week. So it's not bad, is it? Really for
Tempting.
It's, yeah, Stuart's experience, you've experienced, it's decent food, and it's a great atmosphere. There's always stuff going on up there, so it's worth getting on. So have you got a score prediction for that?
I'm gonna go 2-0.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 2-0 as well.
2-1.
2-1 for you, Stuart.
Okay. 2-1 ticket.
And then we've got this plethora of home games then, which is going to be excellent, which I'm really looking forward to. I am pleased that we've got this Morecambe game and we've moved the Macclesfield, because I love a Tuesday night away game.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have gone to Macclesfield if it was on a Saturday because it just takes it too much from a family time. But I'm delighted that it's now on a Tuesday night and we can go to the Macclesfield away game. So we're going to go to that. I am, however, going to go to Scarborough away. I'm going to book a hotel and go to that. Take the kids and they're going to go and have a little splash in the sea. I did promise everybody if we were top of the league that I'd go in the sea. We're not top of the league, so I'm not going in the sea, unfortunately. Thank you very much, boys. See, that's the reason we're fourth. They just didn't want to see me suffer. But I'm looking forward to that one as well, because Scarborough are still holding their own. They're still in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think Johnny Greening, like I said at the start of the season, I think he's a decent manager at this level and he's proven himself, isn't he?
Absolutely.
So, is there any games that you're looking forward to, Stuart?
I'm looking forward to. I'd like to go to Macclesfield.
Yeah.
Away.
Bedford.
Yeah, possibly. I think
He's going to do it. We convince you.
It's
2
the
hours.
teams. It's teams coming to us, isn't it? Merthyr.
Yeah.
We've got to play. Etc. And I want to. We need to beat them.
But this is the point. So like, Merthyr have just sold their top scorer. Yes, they won or drew at the weekend, but I think they'll start dropping. I think you'll find South Shields are starting to drop off a wee bit now.
Yeah.
It'll be Fylde that'll be our biggest challenge, I think.
Yeah, and I think we've played them twice now, haven't we, Fylde?
Yeah.
So we have no influence on their results, but other teams we do, and we just got to keep going. And if we could win every game between now and the end of the season, who knows?
Yeah, good. Just want to highlight a couple of things before we come to an end. Unless you guys got, as Wes would say, any other business? You got any other business that you want to chat about? No. So I just want to highlight a couple of things that are going on in the life of the foundation. If you didn't know, I've been brought in this year just to help guide the foundation just through this next season. We've still got Nick. Nick's an amazing community development manager, and he's just doing some phenomenal things out there. And we're just so grateful for what he's done over these last 30 years. But some of the things that we have done, we started a men's mental health hub, which happens every Monday down at Cozy, 6:30 till 8:30. If you've never been and you want to know some more, please check out our Facebook page, which is the Harriers Foundation. All the information will be on there. But I would really encourage any men to come, because it's just like an hour of kickabout. It's non-intensive, it's non-competitive, it's real fun. And then we have an hour where we just play some games, have a chat, and just hang out, really. And that's, it's really important. I had a friend text me earlier saying, I'm in a dark place. I need a place to come and chat. I don't play football. Am I welcome? Absolutely, you're welcome. So whether you've got boots or you haven't got boots, you can come down. It is on grass if you want to play, so it's worth getting a pair of boots. If you can't get a pair of boots, we have a kit exchange where we can get you a pair of boots, hopefully, for you to join us. So that's every Monday. So that'll be back tomorrow, 6:30 till 8:30 p.m. down at Cozy. It is dark down there when you get down on that driveway in. There's no floodlights, but don't be spooked. Get yourself into the car park and then get yourself into the building. We'll get it sorted. And then the other thing I want to mention is something called the game plan. The game plan is happening. It's starting on the 13th of January, which is next Tuesday. You can sign up for that. It's free. We do need you to sign up for that. Again, if you check out our Facebook or the club's Facebook, it's on there. Basically, it's 10:30 till 1:30. You get a lunch provided in between. It's a free 3-week course where it's kind of aimed at helping people get themselves back on their feet. So you might be struggling with finance or struggling with jobs or whatever it is you're going on at this moment in time. But it's about you learn to take back control of your life. It's not delivered by me. It's delivered by an external charity called Emerging Leaders, who do this all over the world in partnership with people like Innocent and M&S. I've witnessed the course. and personally, it had an effect on me, and I've seen it have effect on others. So they asked us if we would partner with them. They're going to deliver it through us, and the EFL are going to be getting involved in that as well because they want to deliver it through other clubs as well. So we're going to be the pioneer of that, and you can be involved. It's completely free. Come and join us. It's at the Aggborough Arms every single week for 3 weeks in January through to the end of January. So come and join us for that. Just sign up through our Facebook page. But that's about it for tonight, gentlemen.
Yeah.
We've done all right, haven't we?
It's good to be back.
It's nice to be back, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nice venue as well, this.
This is great.
I just want to give a massive shout out to the Great Western in Bewdley. We've actually drove around about 4 different pubs tonight, didn't we? Looking for a different venue to film somewhere. It was quiet, cosy and warm and provided us with a nice drink. So we want to thank the Great Western for allowing us to use their facility and for hanging out with you guys.
It's been good.
Yeah. Anything else to say?
Don't think so.
Other than up the Reds.
Up the Reds.
Up the Reds. Up the Reds.